Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Important Views. My name's Steve. I'm just getting over a really bad cold, but I can finally talk. So today I'm going to be reviewing a Bandai Tamashii Nation Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit-01. This is number 58 in the Robot Spirits line, which makes this a pretty old figure. Came out, I think, around 2010? It's either 2010 or 2012. But this is a figure I've been really meaning to acquire. I seen this at, not this last year's G-Fest, but the year before. I passed on it because I was mainly trying to get Godzilla stuff. And now I regret it because this guy usually goes for about like 120, 150-ish on eBay. But on Amiyami, I was able to acquire one for about 60 bucks. So hopped on that in a heartbeat. Because with my other Robot Spirits figures, I really enjoy those. And I've just been wanting a really solid anime-looking Evangelion. And I'm hoping this does the job, because most people are directing me towards this one or the Robot Specs version. Which, this one's a little cheaper to get, so this is the main reason why I hopped on this guy. That and the Robot Spirits just seem like it kind of scales a little bit better for me with the Shin Godzilla figure. But anyways, this is from the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you guys haven't seen it, probably one of the best animes ever. One of my personal favorites too. It's a really awesome mech anime, but it's also kind of like a play on mech animes as well. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go do that. And it's also done by the Anno, who also directed Shin Godzilla. But anyways, can't wait to get this guy out of his prison. So without further ado, first packaging, pretty standard Robot Spirits package with the right over here for the Robot Spirits with nice little image of Unit 1. You get to see Unit 1 inside of the packaging with a lot of accessories. Has the Gainax stamp on the bottom, or sorry, sticker, so you know that it's legit. On the top of the packaging, just more Robot Spirits. There's a little bit of a grid pattern here. On this side, just Evangelion, just nice little profile shot of them. Other side, nothing too much going on. Back of the packaging just shows him in some dynamic poses, him with his AT field, and some stuff I can't understand, and some legal mumbo jumbo. So let's get him opened up out of his cardboard prison. Alright, so now that we got this guy opened up out of his cardboard prison, also Arnes is here.
Hi.
I'm feeling better now, other than my voice. So he just decided to partake in this review. So anyways, for his accessories, he comes with an umbilical cable, which this is how you power your Evangelion, at least in the anime. But what's really cool is this is the first one I've seen that actually has a bendy wire for the tube here. So you can actually kind of pose this if you want to, which is really neat. The only thing I have to worry about is the wire possibly breaking over time. Be the only thing I'd be kind of scared of.
Well, it can be as bad as the alien figures where the wires just literally break out of instantly.
Where you open the packaging and it's already snapped.
Yeah.
But yeah. Details for it are pretty basic. We have a little bit of a reddish copper paint here on the base where the tube goes into, some blacks here, and sort of like a bluish gray color. Looks really nice. And then you can plug this into the back of our Evangelion here, which right here you'll notice there's a peg hole. You just pop it in. Goes in there pretty lightly, so it moves in and out pretty easily, but stays in there just enough so yeah, you don't have to worry about it. And if it tips, it'll usually pop out beforehand. But overall, looks pretty cool with this. I usually actually pose my Evangelions with these, if I have them.
Why?
Because usually when I have these guys pose, I don't have them with the roaring face, which we'll go over that in just a second.
But where do you plug the other end of the cord at? You can't just leave it hanging, Steve. It's not how it works, man.
Figure also comes with 2 pellet rifles, which are definitely a lot different than what I got with the Shigoken figure, where these are done in a gunmetal color. And then you have the same bluish color here for the sights. A little bit of black here on the back here and some orange coloring. Nice little bit amount of detail on it, but the other one was just like all metallic gunmetal all the time, which looked horrible. And what's cool is you get 2 of them to pose with our Evangelion figure. So you don't really ever see them use that in the anime, but greatly appreciate it. Also comes with 2 knives. Again, don't ever see it in the anime, but still sweet that it comes with it. You can have them dual wielding it, get ready to stab us some Shin Godzillas. But the blade here is metallic silver, a little bit of red here for I don't know what, and some black fur to handle.
No, I don't remember the anime that good, but I remember watching it one time. I don't actually remember those knives like you said.
Well, he uses it to stab the second angel in the core. The one with like the tentacle arms.
I don't remember. It's been so long since I watched that.
Yeah, it was the one where like his friends get inside the cockpit and he's trying to defend them essentially, and he just stabs the thing right inside of its core. And then he also comes with, wait, actually, you know what? I just noticed I've been saying he this entire time. I'm gonna keep going with it because I'm used to just calling this thing a he. I know it's a she, people. I know it's okay, but it also comes with a roaring head, which this is more trademark for when the Evangelion does its berserk mode, which is really cool. Kind of weird that it comes with an extra head though. Usually it just, the figure has a hinged jaw. The other one that I own as of right now that has a replaceable head would be the Kyoto Evangelion. But that figure's super old, so kind of makes sense for that one anyways. But for the paint job, you got some purple here for the top of the helmet. Got some vibrant greens. Some very bright yellowing here for the eyes. A little bit red for the inside of the mouth. And more of that neon green for his chinny chin chin. And then just show you the original version's head, which the only real difference is just the mouth is closed. But personally, I like having mine posed with this one. This is generally how I'm going to have it. Because mainly my Shigoken one's mouth does not like to close anymore. So he's going to be my screaming angry Evangelion figure now. But how you swap out their heads? And it's a pain in the butt. Pain in the rear. What I like to do is actually, I'm going to take off the joint from the head and the neck. Because that generally is going to pop off way before my Evangelions is. So what you're going to want to do is pull up from the neck. You'll notice the neck kind of curves. Where it's flat at, it's going to come straight up. So you just kind of grab at the base. Pull upward. Pops out. And then the way the ball joint is inside of the neck is showing you guys on this one is it goes into the head right around the chin. So it's not straight up, which is what makes this a problem. But what I'll do is grab onto here at the base and I kind of just rotate a little bit and it usually just pops right out. But it doesn't like to do that when I have it on the base. But grabbing the other head, push it in. And what's also really nice too on these figures is I love that the little crest here is actually soft on this. You do get two that come with this guy that you can actually swap out and they're actually hard plastic. That's if you want to be more anime accurate. Personally, I really like this version because if he tips over on my shelf, this isn't going to snap on me. So this is the way I will be displaying mine. Kind of how I recommend it to you guys as well. I'd only put those in if you're going to have him hooked on to a display. And then just, this is the hard part, getting him back on. Head is on now. All right, now, what you want to do to swap these out is you literally just pull this out. It does show it in the instructions. I'm not going to do it because this stays in here very securely, so I want it to stay like that, and I really don't want to mess around with the looseness here because I feel like if I pull this out, it's not going to be the same when you want to stick it back in. But these are the two little extra horns that you get to go along with your Evangelion. So if you want to swap them out or say something does end up happening to this, you do get a few extras just as backup. And then for his hands, he comes with a pair of slightly open hands, which are generally going to be used for like cupping your rifles, or usually the standard kind of hands that I have displayed with my Evangelion. Then it comes with a pair of high five hands for pretty much that. I don't really plan on using.
Cena hands.
Oh
Oh god, it works too good.
Yeah, it's like, you can't see me now. Then he has a pair of karate chop-ish hands, which primarily I'm going to say are for like his more dynamic poses. Say if you want to have him pose like he's running or doing jump kicks and whatnot. These are primarily the hands I'd be using for that. Then he comes with a pair of clenched fists for punching other kaijus, angels, and Evangelions. Then he has a pair of gripping hands for his knife and pellet rifle. Then he comes with a trigger finger for his right hand. I think this is primarily for his knife. I'm not 100% certain. But it seems like the knife resting... You know what? Hold on a second. To me, it seems like the knife rests pretty nicely inside of this hand compared to the other ones. Because to get grabbing the gun anyways. It kind of sits pretty freaking loosely in there. So, yeah, pretty much it's for the knife. Let me know in the comments below. Then he comes with a pair of clenched head stands, which this is for ripping open some AT fields. Thankfully, he comes with
way too many accessories.
Just a wee bit. His own AT field, like you got to see in the first episode of the anime when he rips that thing open. Pretty cool. Comes with this little stand that you have to assemble yourselves, but I'm not disassembling this thing because you literally have to insert this in between these little holes, and there's a lot of pegs, and I don't want to break anything, but you can shift it up and down, which is pretty cool. It's really flimsy though. My only issue. Get a cool little base though for it, but really like this little accessory. It's a nice little homage to the first episode. You can also use this with the actual Evangelion, so it's like he's putting up his own AT field. Well, a lot of possibilities you could do with this thing. Thought initially when I got this out, I thought this was going to be like the goofiest thing, but I kind of grown to like it. Not sure if I'm still going to display it with them. Actually, now that I got it assembled, it's going to get displayed.
Steve, it is goofy.
You're goofy.
I know. That's how I know that's goofy.
And then just to go over the rest of the Evangelion quickly, because my voice is really starting to give out on me. But for his neck, you get that nice little orange armor plating. For his chest, you can see the undersection here is a very dark gray color with some reds there for the little plug entries. And his super tiny chest plates that go over the top of them. Pretty accurate for the original anime, but it's just kind of odd. The only other thing that's odd too is for me, his shoulder pads look a little small. Because I'm used to these things kind of being gigantic like you see in the newer movies or most of the other action figures. On this guy, it's actually pretty subdued. But I like it. It really doesn't get in the way of the posability, which is really nice. And they're on their own little separate little joint here at the top. So they don't really get in the way too much. And it's not like it looks obscure. It's just kind of odd. If anything, the chest plates look a little too small for me. But I think that's mainly so that they don't hinder the articulation. And then you have his very long abdomen here, which has these 3 separate armor plates, with them being purple, green, and back to purple, with his little armor piece up at the front there. For his arms, do not have the Evangelion decals on the side here, which is a little bit sad. I would like to see the test type on here, or even the EVA 1 right on the top. But for his arm patch here, you have some green, orange, and then black on the inside. A little bit of green here for the armbands. Which the thing I really like about his greens is it really stands out on this guy. Like it almost kind of has like a neon kind of feel to it. Like
that's what I said earlier. I really do like his paint job.
Yeah, it even gives it like that glow in the dark kind of appearance. It doesn't do it, but it pops just like it does in the anime, which is really cool to see here. Which is the main reason I really wanted to pick this guy up originally. Is because for me, out of all the figures I see, he seemed like the most anime accurate in terms of just overall color and appearance. At least for the original anime. And then for his arms, you also have that little plating here on the undersection of his forearm. We already pretty much went over his hands, but they all do have this little orange little button with some gray here for the knuckles and the same purple you see for the rest of the armoring. You do get to see some muscle definition here for the arms, which is cool. I used to have a model kit that actually had a vinyl sleeve over top of this, and it kind of had that same appearance. Really cool. On the back here, you get some gunmetal here for the spinal plating, some red here for where the umbilical cord enters into the back, with some black here for the paneling, some red here for the top section as well. You have where the entry plug goes into the back. This does not lift up or anything, so you can't do any little fun gimmicks with that, but who really needs it, you know? And moving down to the back section and the legs. Overall, pretty clean looking joints. Really happy with this. His knee pads are also, or whatever you want to call these, are also a soft rubber. So they do have a lot of flexibility there, so you don't have to worry about snapping these things off very easily either. And then his shoes, really nice, where you have some black here for the armor plates for the indentations. It's got some orange here for the soles, and some added details for the bottom of his feet. Now, for his articulation, actually has a ton, which is really nice to see. His head can move down about that far, up about yay far, can shimmy side to side, Head can also rotate all the way around, and then can shift on its own little joint. For his arms, can go up about that far, down about that far, rotate all the way around, and then again, shoulder pads are on their own little joints, so you can shift those around as well. Has a pretty nice bend here at the elbows, rotation at the elbow. Then you just kind of got to line up the joints back up when you want to get them to shift. Hand can rotate all the way around, swivels back and forth. Now for his waist, can shift side to side, can go that far down, which is insane. Probably the best articulated joints on any of the robot spirits that I've had. Can go backwards about yay far. Legs can go outwards about that far, so you can almost do a full splits. Can go in about that far. And then really nice forward kick. The only thing on mine is the joint's really stiff here. So I like to rotate it by grabbing at the top of the thigh. Can kick backwards about that far. Has a rotation here at the thigh. Nice double joint here at the knee. No real rotation at the knee. But the feet can rotate side to side. Move forward and back. And has articulation here at the toes. But it's really stiff on mine. But you can get them to bend up and down. And here we have the Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit 1 compared next to some other Robot Spirits figures with the G Gundam with optional effects pieces and the Master Gundam from G Gundam. And here it is compared next to some other Evangelion figures in my collection with the Kotobukiya model kit Burning Eva or the Shin Awakened G figure. And the Soul Shogoken Evangelion Unit 1. And here it is compared next to the SH Monster Art Shin Godzilla and the Figure Arts Ultraman. And here it is with some NECA action figures with the Ultimate Striker Eureka and the GMK Godzilla. So overall, the Robot Spirits Evangelion Unit 1, this figure is awesome. The articulation is fantastic, the detailing on it's really nice. Some of the proportions on the figure could maybe be a little bit better. But this thing is easily the best Evangelion figure I have in my collection.
How much did you pay for it?
I've got it for $60 pre-owned on AmiAmi.
Pre-owned?
Pre-owned.
Anything wrong with it?
Absolutely nothing. It was AB, so the figure should be near mint. B, be like the packaging might have some scuffs. And mine had a little bit of like an indentation on the back. But nothing really to complain about.
I really do love his paint job, though. Or her paint job, sorry.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, the paint job is awesome on this thing. Especially for it being an older Robot Spirits figure. Pretty impressed.
It's a sad day when an older figure has a better paint job than the new ones do.
It's sad when this Robot Spirits has better details than the Shogoken.
Wah, wah, wah. Dislikes for Steve.
Yeah, the only thing I feel like it compares with in my collection is the Kotobukiya model kits. This thing I like a little bit more because since it not being a model kit, it doesn't fall apart when you randomly try to pose it sometimes. And you also didn't have to assemble it. It looks great out of the packaging. You don't have to put any extra effort into it. The only other one people have been asking me and telling me to get is the specs version of the Evangelion figure. The main reason I haven't gotten that one was the original reason why I didn't pick up this guy. It's because it's just an arm and a leg nowadays. And that's kind of the issue with this figure is it's an arm and a leg if you try to pick this thing up, say, on eBay or Amazon or most of those other third-party sites. Because on average, I usually see this guy going for about 120, which is a lot of money for this figure. Like, you have to really be in the need for an Evangelion figure, like a really good one, in order to pay that much for it. For the $60 price tag, though, I feel like this thing is definitely a steal at that price. Or if you could get it for, I think it was originally about $30 when it came out, then yeah, 10 out of 10 at that. Do you think it seems like a good $60 buy?
I don't like the show, so for me, no.
Aww, why are you even here?
I don't know.
But what do you guys think? Have you guys picked up the Robot Spirits Evangelion figure? What's your favorite Robot Spirits Evangelion figure? Or is Gundam just more your thing? Please let us know in the comments. A little closer pictures of the guy on our website if you want to click the link in the description below. We also have our Patreon account if you guys would like to help support the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.